Right, we're good.
That's so shit. Hello,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Welcome to the first Gcb podcast.
I believe that's why we're here. Yeah.
Update on the Scottish bodybuilding season and all things GCB related.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Robert Rose.
I'm
This
Pete.
is my co-host, Mr. Say your own fucking
Do you
name.
remember it? No.
Say your own name.
Pete Ganella.
Jesus, it's all going so well.
So I suppose what brings us here? What brings us here to start with?
Yeah, so the thought process behind this is there's not really a big media for Scottish bodybuilding. And we host the best bodybuilding show in all of Scotland.
Above average.
Above average.
Let's try to be
definitely-
modest here.
Yeah, it's definitely an above average show in Scotland. So we'd like to update everyone on what our plans are for the coming season and basically just discuss what's going on in Scottish bodybuilding competition-wise this year.
Yes. So I think it's probably best if we kind of go over previous shows, which is something we've never done before, is talk about our previous shows and kind of why, more yourself, why you wanted to start this show in general.
Yeah, so we'll do this quite quickly, I guess, go through a brief run back. So I've been to a lot of bodybuilding shows in my time, competed a few times also, and for one reason or another, the experience wasn't particularly great. So I had the idea to put on a bodybuilding show that was the kind of bodybuilding show I would want to compete in, but also from a show perspective, the kind of bodybuilding show I'd want to see. So atmosphere, music, giving something back to the people that paid for the tickets. So that was the original brain fart back in 2019.
It was I remember it being a thing because obviously the first bodybuilding show I went to was the one in Inverness with yourself, the IBFA
the
Highlands.
Yeah, so I ran that show.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes for Gavin Laird. And again, like running behind the scenes, I was like, this would be a good shout. This is something we could do. This would be like, so just noticing things that could have been done better from my point of view. And then being at other shows throughout Scotland, either as a competitor or a spectator. So that was the real idea behind putting on a show. I competed that year, I think, so I postponed it. Then got the go-ahead from the IBFA to pull the trigger on it, and then spoke to you. And I was like, Pete, I've got this fantastic idea for a bodybuilding show. What do you think? Over to you.
And I suppose my experience came from sort of running music events for about, I'd say, the course of 4 or 5 years.
Pete's a big-time DJ.
I don't want to mention it, but if there's any gigs going, I'll take one. But no, I also, a lot of people don't know this, but I met Rob obviously through the door, but working on the door at Revolution, which became my sort of home away from home, musically wise and work wise. So being very good friends and like talked about tons of different stuff. And obviously bodybuilding's become quite a prominent thing because it's such a big love of Rob's. And then I was never really the bodybuilding type when I first met you. I think I was more just the party animal. I used to go out. I used to, just not paint a big picture of a bodybuilder.
Be a train wreck of a human being.
Yeah, and I would usually turn up to the door and I'd had a bad weekend, a tough day at work, and I'd usually explain to Rob about my tough days at work. But moving on from that, I have
basically a bit of a therapist for Pete for a number of years.
Yes.
So yeah, Pete is like Pete is the man behind the scenes doing all the rough work. He is doing all the running about, all the DJing, all the visual stuff. Everything you hear is all Pete. So I couldn't do this without Peter, to be perfectly honest, because I have no skill set in that zone. So Pete was good enough to come in and bolster that side of the operation. So,
which I'm obviously very, very honoured to, because it's now become a bit of a thing now.
It's
kind of grown arms and legs,
it's
which is
arguably
it's a tough thing to try and stay humble about.
In
my eyes, it's quite, because a lot of people will come and say, "Oh, your show's great, your show's this, your show's that," but you try not to just take all the positives. You need to listen out for the negatives as well.
Yeah.
But it's the negatives we hear so very few of.
I think
we try and
I think
work
I'm
on it.
borderline on the other way around. I almost feel like imposter syndrome. Like, how is this happening? How have we got here? That's my way. So I feel like when people are like, "Oh, it's great," I'm like, "Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not." But then all I see is the flaws and things to improve on. That's why I'm a miserable prick about it most of the time. Sorry, earmuffs. So shall we? So that's why we started. So first year we got off and rolling. COVID landed, show got cancelled. So we sold out, cancelled, the venue cancelled it. They opened up gyms, we rebooked it. They cancelled it again. Everything opened up, and then the venue said, we can't, with good conscience, put this show on.
Yeah, I remember that phone call. That was a horrendous phone call.
I sat on it for like 2 days, and I was like, I have no idea how to manage this.
Yeah.
And then, long story short, a bit of a pivot, and I was like, we're too big for that venue. Moving to the ballroom, moved to the ballroom and filled the place.
Yeah.
So the first year was awesome. Was great to get off. I felt like an amazing achievement. I was almost like blown away. We actually managed to get over the line.
It was huge. At the end of the day, though, like, I wish you told me to wear more comfortable shoes.
That was on you, man. That was on you.
Blisters like fucking golf.
So I turned up for the
the
first show, and I'm in like cargos, a hoodie, like ready to carry stuff, and I turned up in Pete's in a 3-piece suit, shiny shoes on. I'm like, what are you doing? We've got stuff to do, mate.
My first show, mate.
The place doesn't open for 4 hours, man. We got some stuff to lift. Handed him a box. It was the first box, wasn't it?
First box.
The first box burst the arse out of his trousers.
That was a hell of a day, though, man.
Yeah,
that was one hell of a day.
Yeah, it was amazing to get off. We had the local press and stuff in as well. They did a big piece on it. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Second year, and this is the MO with every year. We just try and turn the dial. Sorry, I'm a senior citizen. Yeah. So we just try and turn that dial another notch round. Like, what can we improve on? Okay, that could have been done better. And every year we just slightly improve it. In my eyes, anyway, that's how I see it.
I know, I would certainly agree. Like, I mean, to name some of our flaws, music was one thing. And I'll say that was the one thing I was kind of trusted in doing. But I've learned from, obviously, the first show where someone's track didn't load up. It's like, well, it worked everywhere else, but the only place that didn't check it was the actual equipment I was going to be using. Yeah. So since then, it's been a case of, right, I get everything I need at least 3 or 4 days beforehand, check everything so that we make sure that it 100% works. So that's, I mean, that's one of the things.
So then second year, music was slightly better, production value better, things like having all the TVs around the room. I mean, if you've competed at a show, you know this happens. Maybe if you're not a spectator. So quite a lot of the focus is on the athlete at our shows. So if you go into the competitors only area, they do have a stage there. They do have a runway. They do have weights there supplied for them. They have a projector screen pulled down that has the show projected onto it. So if they're wondering what class they're on, if their friend's up there, if their mum's up there competing, whatever it is, they can just sit backstage, relax, and watch it on the big screen. So they don't have to be down with the people if they don't want to be.
Which, with some of the few shows I have been to, I've never seen anything like it, which is a very, very handy tool.
There's shows where people are changing in portaloos.
Yeah.
Like there's shows where people are changing behind curtains and
shows
stuff
where
like
people
that.
are changing in fields.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't going to mention that. Well, yeah, but that's definitely a thing. So I try to make sure, from a competitor's point of view, we do everything we can, like, because we're not a massive operation, we're not made of money. That's a big part of it. Like, this all comes out of our own pocket, and we do our best to recoup that money, basically. So making sure the competitors have a good time, and it's a show I would want to compete at as well. So from a behind the scenes point of view, make everything accessible, especially to people in Aberdeen. So, like, so much talent has come out of Aberdeen in British bodybuilding, like Andy Scott, Greg, Aaron, Sean Emmanuel. Like, some of these people are
Alex Smaldon in England, man.
Yeah, there's Olympia level bodybuilders all just popping out of Bridge of Dawn, and there's no show north of Glasgow that they can come and compete at, or put clients at, or be involved with. So that was a huge motivator behind putting on. And then last year, third year, again, just another turn of the notch. So we had Greg guest posing, we had Andy the year before, Ross before. I'd say slightly better production, bigger operation.
Yeah,
slightly slicker.
The larger team from us as well. So
yeah,
Also had the tailored guys in. We had obviously Shannon's come on board with us as now. It'd be quite a handy gopher for me to run about, because obviously if my job essentially backstage is either putting out fires or making sure things run on time, and it's become to the sort of point where it's like, well, I now need a Shannon.
Shannon's been a great addition.
Shannon's been very, very handy on the day.
And then, again, from an operation point of view, so I wanted bodybuilders to be able to compete at that show locally, and it be a show worthy of getting on stage, someone I'd want to compete at. Then from because everyone takes their mum, their sister, their pal, who's maybe not into fitness and bodybuilding, and sitting at a show is a long day, man, a long day. Especially if, they win their class, you're waiting for the overall at the end or something. You're there for 7-8 hours watching something you don't really understand. So I try and make it a show. So it's entertaining, it's interesting. And then I try and paint a picture for people in the crowd, like, these guys train at this gym, these guys train at that gym, who have you got? Lift the atmosphere and make the music better.
Yeah. It's so important, like, you can understand the competition side of it, where people have been training for, say, 20 odd, well, they're near enough their whole lives they've been training for, but maybe prepping for the last sort of 20 odd weeks. And then to go up on stage to only sit there for 5 minutes or so, collect the trophy if they get one, then leave. But I've seen the importance of getting them up there, saying their name proud, and then who's here for such and such, and the place going absolutely wild. It's really good to see.
It works on two fronts. So the bodybuilder you're talking about is like, oh man, this is a big deal. Yes, I'm gonna pose harder. I'm having a good time. I'm gonna feel confident and go through it. And then the crowd reacts to that. So it just brings the whole atmosphere up. So I'm a big fan of that. Like, I've got nothing against how other bodybuilding shows run. We just do things differently at how they do it. It's not a beauty pageant. I'm not just miserable. Yep, you're okay. Yep, cool. On you go. That's not what we're worried about. That's absolutely fine, but that's not for me. I wouldn't be involved in bodybuilding if that's how I had to operate. So yeah, want it to be a show I would like to come to. Want it to be somewhere I would like to compete with. And then the third one is the businesses part of thing. So support local, support fitness. I'm a huge fan of this cliquey, weird industry we're in, because I see the benefits of fitness and bodybuilding in life massively. So having businesses in the room that are of the same opinion of fitness as I am and push fitness products in the room is a huge part of what we do. So being able to have, the guys from Highland Supplement Centre in the room, having the guys from Heavy Duty in the room. So you've got 600 people in that room that are all a big fan of fitness, lifting, and we put those businesses in the room with these people so they can promote it. And I think that's a huge thing to keep this community alive. I think.
It's and you kind of, when you take a step back and kind of realize how much sort of assistance there is to get people on their journey. I like to prep my diet as well for the food.
Yeah.
Which at least has been I know she's been a huge saver for me for sometimes, but she's always on your back with food and stuff.
Yeah,
like that
she's brilliant, man. If ever I have to go away on a course or something like that, I just hit her up, drop her a message, and I've got her.
And even looking past the food point, Lisa's a phenomenal bodybuilder herself.
Yeah,
and she loves
so
she loves helping out every
so.
year. And it's really awesome when she's around, man. She's great fun to have around as well.
And they support and push the show as well. So again, it's similar to the announcing the bodybuilder and us being enthusiastic about the bodybuilder that walks out. We're enthusiastic about these businesses, and they're enthusiastic about the show. So it's this synergistic relationship where they push what we're doing, so we can keep doing it essentially.
It's not even a case that, I don't want to make this sound bad, but it's not like these people are just our mates and we get them in because they're just our mates. I mean, obviously, in some cases, they are friends from probably years ago. Like the Highland Supplement Centre, you're from the Inverness side of it. But it's not like, my mate's starting up a joinery business, we're going to get him in and do stuff like that. It's not a case like that. If they support us and they are a fan of the sport, it's obviously a much handier tool to have.
Yeah. So I guess the three-way attack on bodybuilding is a show I'd want to compete in, a show I would want to see, and then putting local businesses in the room.
Yes.
That's it. And doing, because I and you now have a standard of where we think a bodybuilding show should be, and it would be spectacular if other shows took note of that and rose up to that. Like, I'm not saying you have to have a massive production value.
Well, at the end of the day, we didn't.
But the priority needs to be looking after the competitors. In my eyes, that's my thing.
Yeah,
like that's the first priority. Is looking after the bodybuilders, and I think that's secondary to quite a lot of this. A lot of it's about getting money out of people.
Yeah,
that's not what we're about. It's literally about looking after these people because they're the ones that have dieted for 16 to 8 weeks.
Well, they're the ones that stand on stage.
Yeah.
For the 10 hours 9 or 10 hours that we are on for the day, they're the ones that stand on stage at the end of the day and present what they've been working on. If we didn't have bodybuilders,
bodybuilding show,
we wouldn't be a bodybuilding show. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, how easy would it be to convince 600 people to come through our door when there's nothing on the stage? You know what I mean? So we need we need to put on a show where bodybuilders would want to compete, and I think that's spoken leaps and bounds because every year we've got more and more.
Yeah.
And as of 7 or 8 weeks ago, we hit the most people we've ever had, and we're still having people sign up.
Yeah. So if we jump quickly forward to this year's show, we're now way ahead of where we were last year, competitors wise, registrations wise. So it's looking like an even bigger show again this year, which we're very appreciative of. But the crux of it is the bodybuilders, eh? So without them dieting, without them suffering, without them turning up on the day, without their friends and families buying tickets, we wouldn't be able to put on this really cool thing we get to do. So yeah, that's behind the scenes.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's a very complex process, it's a very simple way to put across kind of what we do, isn't it?
You deep dive into it further and you go into like independent gyms. So you'll probably notice on our socials, like, if I'm being perfectly honest, a lot of the large chain gyms have zero interest in bodybuilding and the culture for whatever one reason or another. So they don't support us generally. Some will put up a poster for us, but very quickly someone will come along and say, "Oh, that's not to brand standard. Pull it down." And that happens. But the independent gyms push our stuff hard, and we push their stuff hard. And generally, more often than not, the independent gyms are the ones churning out actual bodybuilders, bodybuilding champions. So we will also push independent gyms. It's not to say we don't push other gyms, but probably not quite as aggressively because the relationship's just not there. So if you chain at, generic gym chain, we have nothing against you at all, but they don't seem to like us very much. So there's only, half a relationship.
But it is worth mentioning, there is competitors coming out who are training from the larger chains. But we've had people win classes that train at a X, Y, and Z gym.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is we push the independence because I think that's where bodybuilding thrives. It's what it needs.
Because when you go to the likes of an independent gym, or certainly the independent gyms where we
just rattle one off. Like,
tend to frequent.
You go to Forge, you go to the Flex unit. You're met with a human being.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. You're met with a human being. That's really cool. And they usually chat to you a bit of conversation. And if we go into the whole mental health side of things, like fitness is great. So is getting out your house and talking to someone. So turn up to Flex unit, Forge, warehouse, you rock up, personal reception, you have a bit of chat, bit of go back and forth. You go up to the gym, there's also this almost like family vibe in all these gyms. I think that's really important. Like you go into a generic gym chain, you're not met by a person, put a code in, everyone ignores each other, there's no gym etiquette, there's no banter, there's no back and forth. This is just my personal experience.
Basically every pet peeve that you kind of get in a gym, you're kind of met with in one of the more larger genetic ones. Like the biggest one, not putting weights away, is a big one. Whereas like someone with an actual name will come up and say, "Bud, go put your weights away. Yeah, the staff aren't here to do for you."
If you don't put your weights away, we're not a fan of you.
No, you get turned away at our door anyway.
Yeah. Right. So what have we covered?
I don't know what you're looking at. Like what's on the screen?
All day 7-4, bud. Right. So
I suppose it's worth mentioning. That's a very nice. It's a very nice top you're wearing there, Rob.
Is that what? Oh, you're also wearing it.
Wearing the same stuff.
So I'm gonna do the bad thing here, Pete. I'm gonna throw you under the bus, right? So first year, Pete said he wanted to do some apparel to go with the show. Now I'm not a fashionista. I don't know anything about apparel, so I threw it over to Pete, and I was like, look, I'll run the show, man. I'll figure that out, bodybuilding. But you do the apparel. So Pete did the apparel, and how did it go, Pete?
I think it went quite well. I think it went all right.
Okay, first run of the clothes were crap. And
Thanks.
they were the generic stuff you get like a Gildan t-shirt with a print put on it from like, and I'm not going to throw any manufacturers under the bus, but let's go Gildan t-shirt. I've thrown some print on it. You wear it 4 or 5 times, it's ruined, doesn't fit you quite right anymore. Boom. So that's not what I wanted to push. So very quickly torpedoed that. I had an idea for a design that encompassed everything we were about and everything this city is about. So the big rig that's on the back of our clothing. So he is someone who works a 12-hour shift, someone who works in oil and gas, someone that's a bit rough and ready, maybe does a 12-hour shift. Big juicy guy smoking a stogie. Probably not best in an oil and gas platform, to be fair.
It's a CBD pen. Maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Bodybuilding, right?
He's vaping.
Yeah.
He's vaping. Not
You need to write that down for the next one.
12-hour shift, goes to train. Because we've all been that guy that's worked a shift, worked a 12-hour shift, then had to go and train after that. And that encompasses everything that is bodybuilding for me in Scotland. People grafting hard, then still getting their session in. So that is what I wanted to encompass. And then from a materials point of view, I wanted something to be large and oversized. So it didn't matter if you're carrying a bit of extra timber, because let's be honest, most of us are.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Pete. Yeah. And I also wanted to have a bit of stretch. So if you get I'm not going to throw any names out there, but you get some designs and they don't have any stretch in them at all. You wear them for a bit, they get misshapen, you tear them, blah, blah. So I wanted something with a bit of stretch, not too much stretch, oversized, wear that, and you could hammer it, absolutely hammer it, and it would still perform 12 months down the line. Yeah. So that was my thought process behind the clothing, and yeah, pull trigger, and it's just turned into an absolute monster since then. So generally every time we drop, we sell out.
Well, this drop in particular, I think we've only maybe got some 3XLs and a couple of smalls left, but all the sort of mid-range sizes, anything from medium up to 2XL, sold with less than 24 hours.
Yeah. So the idea is that, we're never going to do. Sorry to disappoint you, Pete. We're never going to do spandex. You're never going to get. You're never going to get.
I'm out.
You're never going to get Under Armour style. I know Luke's devastated. We're never going to do any Spanx or anything like that.
Can we do leggings and shorts?
No. It's like workwear stroke gym wear, stuff you can graft in. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, but see if I'm traveling anywhere, I pick up my Granite City stuff, because it's so comfy. See, you're sitting on a plane, sitting on a train, sitting in the car, plenty of room, look juicy, ticks all the boxes.
With the sort of traveling I'm doing just now, I have a gym bag and then I have my kit bag for work. And I've had to stuff my kit bag also because of the time I'm away. But it tends to be like head to toe granite stuff, like jumpers, some of the t-shirts we've got. If not that, then
we met Johnny the other day, and Johnny's like a joiner, runs his own joinery business.
Johnny has a manual job.
Johnny has a manual job. He grafts, and he turned up, and he's in the first generation hoodie that we made with a new design on it and stuff. And it's like battered to death. Like he wears it to work every day. Has his tools in it and stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, man, this is my favorite hoodie for work."
This is the best hoodie, he says.
Yeah. So
he's had.
Yeah. So that's kind of the backstory of the clothing.
Just on the subject of the clothing.
Okay, you getting some back? Yeah.
We did sell them all. We sell all the t-shirts.
We did, yeah.
We did sell all the t-shirts.
If anyone would like to complain about the first run of clothing, please contact Mr.
It's not like a 10-year warranty on it.
I don't know.
Not DFS, dude.
Yeah,
Come on, Christ.
If you have a complaint to make, direct it towards Peter Ganella if you got the first phase of Granite City clothing. Correct. With the original design on it.
Oh, yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, Pete's the guy to shout for that.
I've still got my yellow one sitting about somewhere, actually.
Yeah, I've got a neon pink one somewhere as well. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, moving on.
Didn't you cut the sleeves off that?
Yeah, did I?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Right, so just to recap, Pete did clothing. It was kind of crap. We then moved on to new clothing. New clothing's pretty cool. Really chuffed. And generally, we just make stuff that we think people we like to wear. We think.
Well, I think it speaks for itself. Anytime you walk in like a warehouse, where we tend to train quite a lot, you'll see at least 3 or 4 Granite tops.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Inverness, Future Fitness as well, in Glasgow. Walk in there, and it's obviously Heavy Duty has kind of got dibs on the flex unit. If you go into flex unit, everyone in flex unit is head to toe in Heavy Duty. But yeah, most of the gyms across Scotland, somebody's rocking our stuff, which is really cool to see. It's really cool to see.
And I think that's where the idea of the GCB Army came from. That's when you kind of brought that one together.
Yeah, so that was the second design.
Because your idea behind it was like, well, this has become a bit more of an operation now. You're starting to think we're kind of everywhere.
Yeah, we are everywhere. Yeah, it's like people were like flying the flag for us across gyms across the UK. So that was really cool to see. And I just thought it would be nice to acknowledge that with the whole GCB Army thing.
Well, on the subject of heavy duty as well, I've actually just posted Ollie's heavy duty Ollie's kit this morning. So
nice. Yeah. So
thanks for the support.
We order off heavy duty. He orders from us, so we do our best to push him. It's very solid. We have like just similar thoughts, similar mission statements about what bodybuilding should be. So we work really well together. Ollie's going to be at the show with heavy duty gym wear. Quite excited to see what he has coming up. I'm not allowed to tell you what he's got coming up, but I know what he's got coming up. It's pretty cool.
He hasn't told me.
Yeah. Right, move on to our clothing. So we're doing another drop, but it is show specific. So we're not going to tell anyone what that's going to be.
Nope.
But we're doing another drop, but first access, first refusal will be for people that buy a ticket and are at the show on show day. So if you want first crack at the next, I hate sounding like an apparel guy, but the next drop will be at the show. So if you're at the show, you get first crack at it. Anything that's left over, and I don't think we had anything left over last year. No. If you're not there, whatever's left will go on the website. But
yeah, I'd imagine it'll probably go on. I'd maybe say we'll maybe take a week off, and then we'll maybe put everything on the website, I would imagine. Yeah,
we're pretty goosed after the show.
Yeah.
We generally take a bit of a week off, then we break down how the show went and what we can improve on.
Yeah. Which is, it's kind of an ideal position where our show is, because I think the other idea behind the show is you want to do a warm-up for the Scottish season, and hence why you've positioned it.
There's tactics behind, like, first of all, we want the show to be busy. Like, we don't want to put on a show that's really cool and nobody comes. So there are other shows that used to go ahead in Scotland and they would be dotted around random bits in the year. So you'd have everyone in Scotland in shape at, say, March, April time, and then you'd have Scottish shows going on in November and stuff. Just didn't make any sense. So what's the biggest show in Scotland? The PCA Scottish. So I tend to place myself a week before, and if there's any promoters out there that are wanting to use my tactics, fire away. A week before, 2 weeks before, I just try and make sure I'm around that date. So generally everyone in Scotland is in shape around that time. So it's the most intelligent place to put a show, in my opinion. So that's what we did.
You're going to have everybody writing down in business, position show accordingly.
Yeah, I would think that would be common sense, but some people just don't do that. So I've done that. So that means if you're a bodybuilder and you're dialing it in for the PCA Scottish, you're like, oh man, there's this other show near my house that I can jump into as well. My family can come and see it. That would be good crack, and they can jump into that as well. Because usually what happens is we get to like a number of registrations, and then 2 weeks before, a week before, they spike with more people going, that show's going on the week before, I'll jump into that. So
that seems to be the general conversation when I speak to people as well. Yeah. I'll maybe ask them, what are your plans?
Show.
It used to be a case of what are your plans for this year?
It's not a disrespectful term, eh? Like, everyone's got their one goal.
No.
Like, the PCA is the biggest show in Scotland. I get that. That's 100%. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Ours is the best show. It's the coolest show.
It's the most fun.
Yeah. You'll have a good laugh.
It's the most fun.
Yeah.
But that's not to take away from the PCA. But we fully acknowledge the caliber and what the PCA is. It's
if you ever got a PCA show, man, it runs like a well-oiled machine. It's brilliant, and I think different from other federations. I think they also make it a show. Like Stephen in Glasgow, like you ever go to the Scottish PCA, I find it to be a bit different from other PCA shows I've seen, and it's got him behind it.
Yeah.
So I think it's got a bit more atmosphere. And like
Oh,
they
being,
really
I
go for
suppose
it.
being Steve's home show, it's Stephen Cassidy for anyone.
Yeah,
who
it feels a
wonders who we're
bit
talking
closer
about.
to the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
But then if you go to like generic show in maybe not PCA, you go to a different federation, they do things very differently. And they're a bit too much of a show and not so much about, being professional. And then you've got some shows that is just a money-making machine, whereas I think we're not really in this for money, but we're in here to make this all about bodybuilding. But yeah, I guess what we do is slightly different to what most people do that I've seen.
I'd like to think so, because like I said, for the few bodybuilding shows I have attended, I just see more happening, and it's hard to sound modest about our show, but when I talk about what's happening to other
that
shows,
might be down to you not going to more shows. Like, so I went to the PCA in Hull, and I was like, wow, what an operation that was. But I've been to other PCA shows where I've been like, I don't know. But the PCA in Hull was like, wow, that was quite a show. So I think there are shows out there that are doing similar things to what we're doing out there, but we can't go to every show.
True.
Just go what we want. But generally what I'd seen was like, and I'm not throwing any promoters under the bus here, but you'll have been to a show that is in a school hall, bunch of plastic chairs, nothing else in the room. It'll be a fold-out stage. People will be getting changed in toilets. And there won't be a professional tanning service. You'll have people without tan at all. People dripping in Dream Tan. People who've got a spray tan. The music will be coming out of a small speaker. It'll be on CD or
it'll
someone's
be the same
aux cord.
music every single round.
It'll be AC/DC Thunderstruck with that 3-minute lead in for the pose down, and then before it drops, it'll be like, that's the pose down finished. Deed. So I want to do stuff very different, a bit more production value, more like WWE, I would say, is what we lean towards. As much as you might hate that, Pete.
No, I'd agree with you. WWE's awesome. We did joke about. I was talking to Blair a few weeks ago, and we did talk about when he was going to be doing his show that he came out like Dave Bautista with all the sparklers and giving all that stuff.
Okay, wow, that'd be quite a sight. Yeah.
Just waiting for everyone to write that down as well.
Sparkler. So that's us up to 2024. So, shall we talk about the 2024 show that's coming up? So we're
I suppose what do we have coming? Yeah, currently 7 weeks out. Last time I checked, someone posted, because that's kind of how I keep up to date with how long I've got going.
7 weeks yesterday.
Cammy's very handy for following, because every time he posts a client, he tells me how long I've got until our show. It's very, very helpful.
7 weeks yesterday, I think. So ticket wise, half the venue's sold out already.
I think slightly more than.
I think
half
it's more
now,
than this, maybe slightly more than that. I haven't checked this week, so a week ago it was half the venue.
Yeah.
So it will sell out.
Yeah.
If you haven't already got tickets, please get tickets, because I don't want to have people being like, "Oh mate, I haven't got a ticket."
Competitor wise, again, most we've ever had, and still climbing.
Yeah. So if you haven't registered, register.
Yeah.
So registration is getting bigger. Ticket sales are getting bigger.
Yeah.
We've now got the upper balcony open as well, so people can book tickets for that, because we're going to need that, because we filled the place last year, so we've had to open up another section.
Our posing seminar hit capacity almost as well.
Yeah, posing seminars need at capacity. A bit behind the posing seminar, so there's nothing again up here in Aberdeen really that does that, and then we have a lot of people wanting a step on stage. So if we add up the money, so if you want to get on stage and you have to travel to Glasgow, say, you're like, fucking 100 quid in fuel costs, say, 100 quid in fuel costs. You need to get an Airbnb or a hotel for the night. Then you need to register with whatever federation it is, and you have to pay your fee to enter the show. So you're probably about 500-600 quid in the hole straight away.
Well, that's probably for a guy.
Yeah, that's probably for a guy.
Maybe from a girl's point of view as well, you're more, because your hair and makeup every time.
Yeah.
You
can do it cheaper, obviously. You can do your own hair and makeup, but a bikini for a figure girl is 400 or 500 quid easy.
Yeah.
So that's £1,000 just to go and get on stage. Or if you want a posing coach as well, another 100 quid a session?
I think it's as much as that. I think it's maybe.
Well, it depends on who you go to.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here and name prices.
Posing coach into that as well, right? So let's
cheap.
say you need 6 posing lessons and then run up to it with your coach, and you're coaching on top of that. This starts to be enormous. Or you can come to our posing seminar where we'll have professional bodybuilders, professional judges, us, and the guys will walk you through your mandatories, your posing, presentation, your routines. And we charge a nominal fee. And to be honest, it's just to cover for, no day 74.
No day 74 sitting over there.
Yeah. So it just covers the videographer and photographer. It's just to cover him. Now, our registration, like the first year after COVID, we waived fees entirely. Like we didn't want to make money off bodybuilders, especially not at that time, because everyone was training in their house, curling the toaster and stuff. So, I think
some big fucking toasters, man.
Yeah. So we didn't have any fee at all, and then we made like no money the first year. Mm-hmm. So we were like, right, we need to put a fee on this, an admin fee, because it was taking up a lot of our time. So we put a small fee on, and then the venue costs have went up, and every cost has went up. So we've had to put a tiny fee on it, but we were still like a quarter of what a big show would be to compete at, competitor fee wise. So you can wake up in your own house, go get your tan done, walk to the show, get the bus to the show if you have to, get a lift to the show, have your family in the crowd, get professional photography from Luke over there in the corner, and be back in your house in time for your tea. Mm-hmm. And you've probably spent 100 quid in total.
I'd say max.
Yeah. Other than, that's probably including the 5 guys you hit on the way home. Or travel around the country.
Or Aberdam for obvious reasons.
Or Aberdam.
Of course. We don't always go to Five Guys.
No.
I never go to Five Guys because I know Cammy's going to watch this. I never go to Five Guys. Just everywhere else.
Yeah. So again, support local, go to Aberdam. So yeah, a cost. It's a huge cost, bodybuilding. And if you're doing multiple shows, say you want to jump into 3 shows, it's like $3,000, or jump into that show, then maybe pick the PCA Scottish. And that's you managed to jump into 2 shows.
Yeah, I mean, fair game. For people who maybe can't afford it, fair game. Just, go and do your thing. We're not saying don't go and do these other shows. But I think the point you're trying to put across is like, we're not here to take all your money. We're here to give you the best experience as a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I think the money comes secondary. If you do everything right by the competitors, they'll be happy and they'll want to come. Mm-hmm. So tickets will sell themselves.
Yeah.
So that's the thought process behind it all. And then if you put the posing seminar on, it all works for us. So putting a professional tanning service in place, it means everyone's tan, so everyone looks good, so it's better for the show. Putting a posing seminar on a week's out, it means if you're a first timer, you've never been on stage, you get to go have judges critique your physique, help you with your posing. Actual judges, actual professional bodybuilders walk you through your posing. So then when you turn up on stage, you're more likely to pose well, which is better for the show and better for everyone.
You've got every bit of ammunition to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the best version of yourself because I hate that cliche.
Be the best version of you.
I hate it. But you've got all the ammunition you need to be as good as you can be at the sort of with the package you've brought,
Make that bodybuilding journey to the stage as easy to travel as possible.
Yeah. I mean, we also try to make that posing's a very, very important thing to us as well. It's not just a case of coming up, do your just regular mandatory poses, transitions and everything. That's just as important as everything. Hence why you've introduced the Best Posers Award, as presented by Darren Malalalalalali. I don't want to screw his name up, but
Darren. Best Poser Award. So presentation is a big passion of mine in bodybuilding, and I think it's almost like a dying art. It's getting sexy again now because
it's getting much better. I think a lot of people are starting to take note.
So I would like to reward presentation. So we have the Darren Malali. I think I got it right. Big Daza, Best Poser Award as well. So we reward presentation. So if you put effort into your posing, obviously you can't look like a tub of melted ice cream up there and have great pudding, and have terrible posing or great posing even. Great pudding.
That's great.
It's lunchtime.
That's very good actually.
You can't look like pudding and be a great poser. You actually need to be a legitimate bodybuilder, but also be able to pose as well, win that award.
Yeah, you can't have your pudding and eat it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Pete. So rest of the Scottish season. Do you want to go into that? There's a couple of shows before ours that I'm going to go ahead and say are a bit smaller, but are pretty busy. They seemed pretty busy last year.
I'd say reasonable. For
Yeah,
the
so
ones
if you're looking to get
the ones I
some-
did attend,
If you're looking to get
weren't as busy.
some mileage, some stage experience, they're handy to jump into. I think they're relatively cheap to jump into as well. So if you're within striking distance and you want some data, they're handy things to jump into. We've got the PCA, I think it's 2 weeks after ours. 2 weeks? Yeah.
yes, I believe so.
Yeah. They've got a huge venue. They've got SWG.
No, it's the week after.
It's 2 weeks.
They're the 14th.
Are they?
Are they? Yeah. Luke is just confirmed. Sorry, Luke holding his A74 camera.
Yeah, they're the week after.
It's just
the 14th.
confirmed.
Never letting it go.
They're the 14th. So we're
Yeah.
on the 7th.
Yeah.
PCA
so they've got
is the
PCA the
14th.
week after. So they've got SWG3, which is monstrous. They're putting an Expo on as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're putting an Expo on in one of the halls. So like for Scottish bodybuilding, that's really cool.
Yeah, because the last Scottish Expo there was the SFN Expo.
Yeah.
But that's been gone for
It's been deed for a while now.
good few years now.
Yeah, I think they tried to bring it back like last year, but I haven't seen anything since.
Yeah. So the Expo's I'd say the Expo that PCA is putting on is very, very important. Very
So
big.
PCA show will be massive. It's a monster, and it's a good show. Stephen puts a lot into that himself, so that'll be huge. SWGC is a solid venue. Yeah, I think that's great for Scottish bodybuilding. That's phenomenal for Scottish bodybuilding.
It's not. I'll be honest. It's not the first venue I would have picked, but I've not been there.
Probably last time there was a rave or something, mate. Like it's maybe set up slightly differently.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact it is a huge venue.
Oh, it's monstrous. Absolutely monstrous.
And the pedigree that's got behind it, just with like, from a music standpoint, the pedigree that's got from it is
Have you ever had
phenomenal.
DJ Barga play there?
No, unfortunately not. Can't afford me.
And then
Neither could most people by the looks of it, though. So moving on.
yeah, adjust your prices, bud.
Yeah.
And then what you got? You've got after that, you got Jimmy Show in Lochgelly.
Yeah.
Again, his show's a solid Scottish show. It has been for years and years. Great atmosphere. He puts a lot into the competitor side of things as well. His trophies are mental. Yeah, Jimmy puts a lot into shows in Lochgelly. Solid local show. Would highly recommend if you get a chance. If you've still got money, I would jump into Jimmy's show. And then you've got the big boys are in town this year. Two Bros are coming to Scotland.
Yeah, which a lot of people were kind of, I think, almost expecting, but they finally pulled the trigger 2 months ago, maybe?
Yeah, I think everyone thought they were coming last year, and then it didn't happen for whatever reason. And then this year, the rumor was going mad that they were coming. And then they've announced. I think they're going. Are they in Lochgelly? I think they're in
I believe
Jimmy's town
so,
now.
Yeah.
I think they're in Lochgelly, in Fife.
So if you've, well, I suppose that's the one. If you've got the finances to jump into that one, then
I think
have at
I think
it.
Two Bros are one of the more expensive shows to jump in, but they've got the access to the IFBB Pro card. So if you're wanting to go
Yeah.
down that route, they need to be your priority, I would say. But yeah, again for Scottish bodybuilding, it's huge. It's awesome. Like more opportunities for Scottish bodybuilders. So no negativity about Two Bros coming to Scotland. I think it's really cool. PC is a monster. Lochgelly's a good show. Is there anyone else we're thinking of? Missing
Naba.
out?
I think Naba's before us this year, I believe.
Yeah.
NFM's also just
There's the
before us, a couple of weeks before.
They've got you, if you win their show, they'll send you to, I want to say Vegas or something like that.
Yeah, they could do the Worlds. Layla Allen just returned from that, I believe. I don't want to say just returned. It
Just
was like
returned. Last year
4
she
months
returned.
ago. Yeah.
4 months ago she returned.
Yeah,
That'd be
4
a
months
long
ago.
show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some say she walked home.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening in Scottish bodybuilding.
Yeah, man.
I'm really-
a lot to
really
look
chuffed for
forward
it.
to.
We'll just keep doing what we do, try and make it better for competitors, sexier for competitors, and spectators. And yeah, I'll try to go as many shows as I can this year because I'd like to
I'm
see what
certainly
other
going to
people
try.
are doing.
I'm going to try.
Not from like
and
I'm
make it.
spying on your point of view, but just seeing is there anything I can do better. Something I really liked with PCA, and I noticed that at their show, is if somebody walked out, like if they had nobody in the crowd, the judges will clap for them.
Yeah.
That put them right at ease. Whereas at some shows, it's just dead silence. If that's
Yeah.
your first time on stage, you walk out, you have no family in the room, no friends.
Which let's be honest, like obviously we're an Aberdeen show, but I want to say we have more competitors, far more competitors outside of Aberdeen entering our show. So that could be the case with us this year. And I'd like to think that with yourself hosting, you'll also be able to keep the atmosphere up and also make everyone.
I do my best, man. I do my best. It's not what I got in this for, but But I think the first year we did it, there were lots of stuff that I was like, there needs to be a lifting atmosphere here. Something needs to be said. You've got an opportunity to hype people up here, and it wasn't happening. So I was like, I need that microphone. I need that microphone. And then the second year, I got the microphone, and it all went mental. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll maybe end up there. I believe that's, you don't get your reading glasses on. This is 12. So that's an hour we've been here, Rob. So I suppose a brief summary of what we've just spoken about. So, best bodybuilding show in Scotland on the 7th of April.
Yeah.
Our posing seminar, 3rd of March.
3rd of March, yeah.
From 12 till 2. We've got the ladies in the morning, the guys in the afternoon.
11 till 2, but yeah. 11 till 2.
Well, nice of you to tell me. Obviously, multiple other shows either side of us. So
yeah, so 11 a.m. till midday is men's and ladies bodybuilding. Then after that is men's physique. And then the following hour is a bit of a seminar questionnaire with us and the judges. So if you have any questions, criteria-wise, posing-wise, anything you want to know, you'll have our brains to pick. But
we'll have Rob's brain to pick.
Yeah, and then you'll have actual judges, actual pro bodybuilders in the room to talk to. So very handy. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Why have you done this video again? Can you mind? What's the thinking behind it?
To make bodybuilding great again.
That's it. Make bodybuilding great again. And cut.
A wrap?